Like, you log in, and she's like, "Hello, Commander, would you like a cup of tea? I just brewed a fresh pot." Ah! Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Tuesday, which means it is time for another Nozz Watches Madoka Magia record. Oh boy! So, on the last episode, we had an episode that I did not really like that much. And honestly, I don't like not liking things. Okay, like believe it or not, I don't like not liking things. Cause it means I spent 20 minutes being bored and or angry, and I do not need more of that. So, I'm hoping that this episode is better. Because, I mean, it's Madoka. I mean, I know they can do it. Fuck, I mean, the first series lives like rent free in my head. So I mean, oh, geez, there. So I don't know. Yeah, they went to the Dreamland and they saved Iroha. Hooray! And I don't actually remember how they actually ended it because I was just so fucking bored. But let's get in here and let's see what happens, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, and go. Like, I'm not saying that to be mean or contrarian or something. Just, oh. Oh yeah, no, okay. Found her at the tree. Got it. Thank you for rescuing me from that eternal hell. Smash cut to Kuroe. She's like, got like a massive chunk like right here, just gone. Oh yeah, no, I'm fine. I'll buff right out. Welcome to the fucking tree. Doesn't look too eternal to me, honestly. Whatever you do, don't put her on those chairs. Last time we saw those chairs, some bad fucking shit went down. Alright, Aroha, so we're gonna get to the end of this, and you're gonna have to put a bullet in your sister's head, so... I hope you're ready for that one, bitch! Oh, boy. Okay, can we go back to Madoka now? Now that we're done with Iruhu and her dumb bullshit, can we go back to the characters I actually give a fuck about? You know what, like, the sad thing is? You could totally make, like, Iroha and the Madoka squad actually interesting. And, you know, all it requires is a tighter focus on them. That's all it needs. It's too fucking late now, though. Like... Like... Shit, no, that's exactly what it is. So, like, the first series, Madoka Magica, was a character-driven show, right? Like, you had the stuff going on, you had Brazilian Night, and fucking Kubi, and all that other bullshit going on. But at its core, the core of it was the relationship between Madoka, Akemi, Mami, Sayaka, Sakura, all of them. It was almost entirely character driven. Here, though, on its face, like at first glance, you're like, oh yeah, no, character driven. But if you notice, majority of the plot points are pushed forwards by the fucking like external shit. Like fucking like this Magia shit. Which is probably why I just care less. I care more for character driven stories, honestly. I mean, you have a Magius, strap her to a car battery nipple first, and just start jacking up the amperage. Eventually, she'll tell you what you want to know. That will just take a soul gem. Do not throw souls! Good. Problem. This is a self-solving problem. Iroha, the problem solves itself. Just let it be. I know she used to be your friend, but now she's a brainwashing bitch. Man, like, the greatest stories are the ones, like, okay, like, straight up though. Any story where, like, the villain is like, I have a terminal disease, I shall die in 3 months. You don't even need to defeat them, you just need to buy 3 months worth of time. But it's always like, no, I must defeat you. No, you super don't know, you just gotta wait. God, the fucking baby Kubi coming around. You know, if Akemi was here, she would just lift her foot and just stomp that fucker into paste if it came near her foot. And by God will bring them back whether they want to or not. Tomorrow's weather. We're all fucked. There's a giant witch coming. So do they like send out like a text message to like all the members and be like, hey yo, so we're at the cucumber flowers today, or do you just listen to the thing and just be like, it was kind of a package deal there. Stab the bitches! Really? You're just gonna throw out a witch right in the middle of town? Jesus Christ, they really have no like respect for human life, do they? Jesus. And I imagine this is probably like sending in. Okay, what does that mean? The fact she's hiding it means that she doesn't want Iroha to see that. But yeah, I imagine telekinesis works like sending in D&D. It doesn't work if you're on a different plane of existence from someone else. By the way, very good way to get your players to like if your players have a sending stone or something to somebody who's like an arc wizard or something, someone very smart, and you don't want them having any help, banish the arc wizard to a fuck to the Feywild or something. Very useful, and it fucks them up super bad. It's great. Yeah, and all I had to do was eat a few human beings as my witch. It's fine. I mean, you kind of do. Unless you want to go around murdering other magical girls and stealing their magic like some sort of fucked up vampire. You have friend 1. And it's you, Iroha, you dumb bitch. In before. Oh yeah, no, they super did. They're all fucking dead. God, she is so naive, huh? Like, what could possibly happen to Iroha to make her any less naive than this? A bitch with a knife. That's what's up ahead. It's not that hard of a thing to say, oh yeah, no, these bitches trapped me in a fucking tree. Hey. So they're not Okay, I straight up thought there was brainwashing going on. You mean they joined up willingly to a group that had been actively doing crime? By crime, I mean borderline murder? God, imagine being dumb enough to willingly join a cult. Couldn't be me. Like, straight, like I thought that they'd been captured and brainwashed, but no, they joined of their own fucking free will, and now they want to leave. Ooh, that's not looking good. I don't understand people that join cults. Just don't join a cult. It's not hard. It's almost as if it's some kind of cult or something. It's because they know you're protagonists and you can actually resist joining a cult. See, all these shit tier gotcha Maguka. Very low willpower. Just like people that play gotcha games. And yes, I include myself in that. It's why I don't play gotcha shit very often, because I am always afraid I'm just gonna be like, no, one more pull, let's go, spin the wheel! Yeah, so which means... Hmm. So, yeah, so they are using Uwasa to kill people. Y'all motherfuckers trying to tell me otherwise? And you can't tell me they're not making witches. Like, there's no way they found enough witches to do their plans. Like, I have zero doubt that they found some magical girls that wouldn't be missed and put them through enough psychological torture to turn them into witches. I absolutely fucking refuse. I do love how the like monster designs in Madoka like that's one thing I will always say, like even this show, despite the fact that the story I care so much less about, like the monster designs are still top fucking tier. Like they're just so fucking whimsical and silly. Just use the doppel. She's gonna turn into a witch. You like okay, so like the doppel thing. I don't quite understand the reluctance to do it. Because maybe I'm misunderstanding. You know, I'll get into it afterwards. I'll get into it afterwards. Because we've only got like 7 minutes left. Wow, it's almost as if the stronger your friendship, the better your connect power. Oh, jeez. I can't believe Rena's fucking dead. K-Day lost it. Oh no. Straight up witching it. Alright, didn't even go doppel. Okay. Oh no, she did go doppel. Okay. Oh, maybe she is losing it. So Jim turned to Griffin. It must be way back. You're gonna have to put that bitch down. So if you use it too much, you just fuse with it. So is this a permanent fusion, or will she calm down eventually? That's what I want to know. Not a single Maguka is gonna fucking die, are they? Because if they actually died, fucking, they'd be like, oh no, people aren't going to buy them in the gotcha. Or they'll think they're weak because they fucking died. I mean, that's another thing. Like, if they do kill her, I will be very, very surprised, but... It feels like there's no stakes. Like, nobody's gonna die, because if they died, they would go down in worth in the eyes of the gotcha community. What? 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 Okay, we're going to just go ahead and put her in the witch farm and milk her for grief seeds. There's that fucking many? Jesus! Probably just until she turns into a witch, and then they're gonna fucking milk her. Attach the milking machine. Get that grief juice. Yes, a save. Save for later. This is the same technicality the library in Doctor Who used. Donna Noble has left the library. Donna Noble has been saved. Like, at least put a bullet in their heads, Jesus. They're lost in their own despair, Iroha. Jesus. Okay, so... Yeah, not so much dreams, more like nightmares there. I mean, not everyone's... I don't imagine everyone's Doppelus is nice. At least one of their Doppels has to be like an absolute fucking bitch. So, I mean, we already know from Iroha that the way to solve Doppel syndrome is to detach you from your Doppel. Like, maybe Cade can't be, but that one bitch back there on the cross, like, really all you need is a crowbar on that one. Maybe a saw if you don't mind taking her hands off. But even then, there must be a magical girl with the powder, you know, put them back on. Okay. So maybe this is another one of those things. It's like it's a difference between like Western and Eastern shit. But so if you give in and fall to despair, you turn into a witch, right? Doppels are you using that power and releasing it in a controlled kind of way. Remember, controlled in big, like, relativity air quotes there. Like, and then as a result, you know, your soul gem is free of despair and it's nice and shiny and bish bash bosh, you're done. If this was a Western thing, using your doppel would be like indulging your despair and not bottling it up. Like I always thought of witches as like, oh, you have your despair and you bottle it all up and you don't really like deal with it, and eventually it just corrupts you and turns you into a witch, into a fucking actual fucking monster. So I thought this entire time that doppels were like, no, they're instead of keeping it in and letting it go toxic and ruin their shit, Iroha and friends were using were using the doppels as like, okay, I'm sad, I'm full of despair, I understand that, and I'm not going to internalize it. I'm going to let it out in a controlled manner, in a way that isn't going to completely fucking annihilate me as a person. Which, is how you're supposed to deal with emotions like that. But here it's like, oh yeah, no, if you do that too much, oh, you get stuck in that state. Like, what? Like, you mean to tell me something that's like comes across like a healthy coping mechanism is bad? The fuck? Like, I mean, I guess like too much of anything is bad, but it just seems like a hard number that you have. Just like, oh yeah, no, you used your doppel like fucking 20 times. Sorry, chief, get the fuck out. Like maybe this is just like an Eastern thing, because I know in Japan, not like controlling your emotions to a ridiculous degree like is frowned upon in certain situations, but I mean that explains the suicide rate. Oh boy. But like, yeah, like that yeah, that doppel thing, I don't get it. I don't get it, and if that's the way they're going with it, it's like, oh yeah, no, it's fine to like, let your emotions out every now and again, but don't do too much. Like, that's fucked up. That's fucked up and like actually wrong. Like, I don't know, because like, if anything, I would have said the doppel should be like the actual way to do it, and it'd be the way to get around Kubi's thing. Because I mean, the main reason Kubi goes for like young girls is because girls around that age, they don't know good coping mechanisms, so they internalize their shit until it fucking blows up and annihilates them. Like, that's how it be. And like, I always thought that like, oh, like, I mean, Yachio is like, what, like temporarily, like fucking, because not biologically, because they stop aging, because they're basically zombies. But like, she's like, what, like in her 30s now, something like that. So it's like, I would have thought, like the really really old magical girls, because they've grown up and they've like learned coping mechanisms. They learn doppels, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna let this out. Woosa. Like spend 10 minutes as a monster instead of the rest of your life. That's what I thought it was, but like the way this is going is weird. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. But review time. Hooray. Okay, so first off with this episode, I guess like what I'll say is what I liked. I mean, first off, I mean, this is something that like goes back to the original Madoka, so I don't know how much credit you can actually give Magia record for it. But I still really really love the monster designs of like the Uwasas and the witches. Like even like the doppels, right? Like the doppels look really really cool, and it's very clearly like a lesser form of witch. Like it takes that, like, I mean, that's explicitly what it is, but it looks like it too. Like it takes aspects of the magical girl, and then aspects of what I assume to be what is destined to be the magical girl's witch form, and combines them in such a way that really fits in with the whole lesser witch kind of idea, and I like that a lot. And even like the ones in the background, the ones that probably are not going to amount to anything, they look really cool. And I like how each of the doppels, you can see that they're in different stages of turning into a witch. Like some people, and this would also play into my what I was saying. Like some of them are more witchy than others. Some of them are just magical girl with the mask and like maybe some weird shit going around. But there's one who's got like an entire witch zone inside her bubble, meaning that when she's letting her despair go, she's letting it go a little harder than other people would, and turning a little more into a witch when she goes doppel, which would be a really interesting thing. Like the way they're going with, but I'll save that for when we get to the negatives. I mean, seeing Madoka again is really cool, even if she's only for a little bit. Seeing her, like, actually kind of... It feels like there's going to be a big Madoka and Iroha team-up at the end. I really hope we actually get some Madoka before then, but... Kuroe becoming disillusioned with Magius is actually pretty cool. I do like that. And it's clear that she's got some bullshit she's hiding. So that's really neat. I do like the idea of the childhood friend who's fallen in with a bad crowd, kind of slowly realizing she fucked up upon, making contact again with her friend. And when they're on the train ride together, there's like a really, like, it's basic bitch, right? It is basic bitch stuff, right? But I like it, right? Like the fact that the shot is split cleanly in half with them on the train. And on one side, like, and it's identical, by the way, entirely. And on one side, you have Kuroe, and the other side, you have Iroha, and they are polar fucking opposites in design. Like, Iroha's design, lots of white. Kuroe's design, lots of black. Iroha, you can see her arms are open, you can see her arms. Kuroe, they're hidden, like she's kind of hunched up in herself. Iroha's got her long boots, Kuroe's got the short boots. Like their designs like mirror each other, and it's actually really cool. Even their hairstyles look like the hairstyles aren't the same, but the way their frame makes them look similar with like the side bits coming down. Like, it's a really cool visual thing. It is very basic, and it is very it's something you see a lot from like cinematography, but it's still an effective trick, and it worked really well, and they used it pretty well here. I do like the symbolism on that one. The witch farm looked pretty cool. Like it looks really like an industrial fucking nightmare zone, and I like that a lot. Bringing back some of the other magical girls was kind of neat, but still a little bit But other than that, yeah, I think that's really the majority of what I liked on this episode. The rest of this episode, I don't really like that much. Like, I mean, I already said it. Like, I'm not really a fan of where the story in Major Record is going. And I know it is an adaptation of a gacha game. The story was already long written, and it was written for a completely different medium. I know. And I know in a gacha game, like, I mean, once again, I've never played this specific gacha game, or like, so all I can draw from is the ones that I've already played. So like, Girls Frontline, Genshin, shit like that. I understand that with a gacha game, you have to make a setting-driven or an event-driven plot, because your main characters are basically up to the fucking player. Like in Girls Frontline, like, you're the commander, but the commander themselves doesn't have any real personality. The closest you get is your advisor and the gun girl that you set as your basically your main captain. The one that shows up on your like main menu screen. But that could be any one of the girls. Like, mine is Wellrod, for example, because I love her and she's amazing. And I would absolutely fucking murder for a Girls Frontline anime. And I would probably love it no matter how fucking shit it was, because I simp for Wellrod so much. Of course, Wellrod would need to be right there front and center, but yeah. She asks you if you want tea. Fuck me, dude. Like, you log in, and she's like, "Hello, Commander, would you like a cup of tea? I just brewed a fresh pot." Fuck! Okay. I haven't played that game. Like, urge to play that game again is rising. This is why I don't play gachas. Because I get endeared. um, okay, point being though, like, because of that mechanic, and even in games that have a main character, the main character has to be dull as fucking dishwater because, like in Genshin, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to play them. Like, who plays as the hero character in Genshin? I've watched multiple people stream it. I haven't seen a single fucking one. Which means that the main character needs to be dull as dishwater because no one's going to put any investment in it, so who gives a fuck? Like, it's a waste of resources. So, yeah, so the story needs to be environment driven no matter how much personality they give to Iroha, Yashio, all of them. Because the source they're coming from, I guarantee you the personalities are not that well set up. I guarantee you they're not. I mean, not that I can check because it's been discontinued in the States. And that honestly is a big weakness of the show. It comes from a source, being Madoka Magica, the original show, that was very, very character driven and has now transitioned to a story that is setting and event driven, and those are two different types of storytelling, and by God, like, I'm not gonna say one is superior than the other, but one is superior than the other. Like, a character-driven story will always be more interesting than a setting-driven story because humans are social animals. Give us characters that we can identify with and like latch onto, and we will care way more about the story that is being told, and we will be way more forgiving. That is a absolute fucking truth. Like there are exceptions, and there are some very, very, very well told event-based and concept-based stories, but almost always the characters need to be spot fucking on and really, 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 really good. Here, however, not so much. I don't, like, Iroha is not a very good character. Yashio is probably the best one, and still she's not that great. Like, I don't remember half these bitches' names half the time. Like, and yeah, I know, historically I'm bad at names, but I at least remember, like, at least half the cast most of the time. At least by this far in. Like, it is... Oh, God, it is... Like, honestly, like, I'm at a point where I'm watching the show because it's Madoka at this point. Which I know is a bad reason to watch something. But I want to see how Madoka factors in. I want to see how things turn out, and I do want to see where this Magius thing goes. Like, this isn't a bad show. Do not get me wrong. This is not a bad show. It's just not as good as what came before. I want to make that absolutely fucking clear. It is not a bad show. It's just not as good as what we got previously. I feel like I should put this at the start of the episode just to preface shit. Oh, boy. Like... And I think that is honestly, like, the tagline for this entire fucking series. Like, if I had never watched Madoka Magica before, if I had no concept of Madoka Magica and I watched this, I'd probably be very confused. But also, I'd probably enjoy it a lot more because this is a competently told event and concept-driven story. But it's not as good as the absolute fucking legend that was Madoka Magica and the Madoka Magica movies. Like, you know? Like, it's like, you go into a restaurant, right? And they give you the most amazing fucking dessert ever. Like, it's a chocolate cake, it's got like a big scoop of fucking cookies and cream ice cream on top. Fucking... It's got like little like chocolate florets around the corners, around the edges of the chocolate cake, like, and it's got like this nice little like lighter chocolate cream in the middle, and it's just absolutely fucking heavenly, right? It's the best chocolate cake you've ever fucking had. And it's nice and warm too, so the ice cream starts to melt a little bit. Like, fuck yeah, that's amazing. And then you go to that same restaurant like a year later, and they give you another chocolate cake, and it's missing the lighter chocolate cream in the middle, and you're like, oh, the ice cream is just vanilla. The florets are missing, but it comes with like a Hershey, with like, not a Hershey bar. Hershey bars are shit. It comes with like a regular chocolate bar on the side that you can break up and sprinkle on your ice cream. It's still a really fucking good cake, but you had a much better one last time you were there. So, like, the entire time you're eating that cake, and you're like, oh man, it's actually a pretty good cake. It's underlined by, like, fuck me, I wish I had the cake from last time. Oh, God, I know they can do it, too. Because it's the same chef and everything. I know they can fucking make the same cake. And that's it. I'm hungry now, I want cake. Fuck. But that's all I got. So let me know what you thought of this down there in the comments, whether you liked it, you disliked it, or you want to bring up something I forgot to talk about, which is entirely possible. Oh, boy. And if you want, you can always support me on Patreon, which is linked down there in the description and on the end card. And if you want, you can always... wait, did I say that? Did I say that? Yeah, I did. And if you want more content from me, you can... hang on. Let me say that one again. If you want more content from me, then I do try and post anime every single day at around noon. And if you're watching this on the day it comes out, which should be the 24th of August, I'm going to be playing Yakuza Kiwami at 3 p.m. And that should be a lot of fun. I had to do quick maths because I'm recording this like on the Sunday. But yes. And everybody, as always, I am Nozz, and I'll see you in the next video. But most importantly of all, become a trash mammal today, and I will see you a